Oh wow, the conference finals are nearly done, and soon we'll find out who earns the honor of being crushed by Oklahoma in the big championship series, but who even cares? The real show is happening further south, in the glorious city of San Antonio. Honestly, I've been rooting for the Spurs for about 14 years, but I don't remember a single offseason with this many trade rumors surrounding the team. Just as the Giannis to Spurs rumors started cooling down, after he met with the Bucks management and promised not to request a trade, instead trying to reset these toxic and complicated relations, a new bomb dropped. Insiders are increasingly saying that Brooklyn could look to move up in the draft to the second pick, which, as we all remember, belongs to the Spurs and, according to 99% of draft experts, will turn into Dylan Harper. Sure, Brooklyn could look to move up, just like I could look to become Sydney Sweeney's future husband. There's no logical contradiction there. The real question is, why would San Antonio, and Sydney for that matter, even hesitate for even a nanosecond before saying a hard no? When I first saw the news about trading the second pick to Brooklyn, my first honest reaction was something like,
that is one big pile of shit.
But then, the number of sources and people saying, hey, this might not be a bad idea, kept growing, making me take the rumor more seriously. Plus, in my last video, I promised to cover Harper, so let's break it down. Who is Dylan Harper? Just how good is he? Does he fit the Spurs? The Brooklyn rumors? Is there even a single universe where the Spurs say yes? So, Dylan Harper is a talented combo guard and versatile scorer. Oh, and also the son of 5-time NBA champion Ron Harper. Most experts agree he'll be the second pick, right after that one sad-looking guy. He's got all the tools for today's NBA, around 6'6" in shoes, 213 pounds, and a 6'10" wingspan. In 29 games for Rutgers this year, he averaged 19.5 points with a shot diet of 63% on twos and 37% on threes. Harper's finishing inside the arc is well above average, 57%, but his three-point percentage is a bit lower than you'd hope. Defensively, he's decent, but nothing special, averaging around 1.5 steals and just over half a block per game. As for player comparisons, the media and fans mostly bring up names like James Harden, Cade Cunningham, D-Wade, and Deron Williams. How good is he? The 2025 draft landscape looks something like this. Tier 1, Cooper Flagg, the undisputed #1 pick, a hype beast and a college star even your grandma's heard of. Tier 2, talented guys like Bailey, Edgecombe, and Tree Johnson, who could all become stars, maybe even surpass Flagg. But for now, they're projected to go after him. Wait, where's Harper? Ah, here he is. He makes up Tier 1.5, a category I invented just for him. I could slot Dylan as the top of Tier 2, but that wouldn't quite do him justice. The gap between Flagg and Harper right now is roughly the same as the one between Harper and the rest of the Tier 2 prospects. Harper doesn't just have star potential. He has franchise cornerstone potential, backed by both his elite physical tools and statistical comparisons to the NBA's best guards. In almost any recent draft without a generational guys like Wemby, Zion, or Flagg, Harper would have a strong chance to fight for #1 overall. Let's start with the three-point shot. Many call it one of Harper's weaknesses because of his underwhelming 33% this season. Spoiler, that's misleading. The eye test shows Dylan actually has a solid, reliable shooting form. His mechanics are not bad, and there's every reason to believe his percentage will be okay. Let's take a look at this chart comparing Harper to the best young guards of recent years, all of whom had similarly high usage rates. While Harper's three-point percentage and volume are worse than Cade Cunningham's and Jamal Murray's, they're actually better than Anthony Edwards, Jaylen Brown's, De'Aaron Fox's, and even Luka Doncic's at the same stage. Crucially, Harper wasn't just spotting up, he actively created his own shot. He ranks third in this group in unassisted threes, meaning he didn't just wait in the corner. He took, and made sometimes, tough off-the-dribble attempts. It's also worth noting that Harper has one of the best true shooting percentages in this group, and an absolutely elite 70% at the rim. That's a number you'd expect from a dominant big man, not a guard. Very few college players, let alone guards, have ever finished that efficiently inside. If you still think Harper's percentage is too low, let's try a thought experiment. Here's an NBA player's three-point percentage. Would you call him a threat from deep or just an average shooter? Time's up. If you picked average, congratulations. You just called Luka a bad shooter. And for the record, I'm not saying Harper shoots as well as Luka. I'm just emphasizing that judging a player's three-point threat solely by percentage is misleading, especially for ball-dominant playmakers who regularly take tough, contested shots. Well, we've covered shooting and scoring. Now let's talk about Harper's playmaking. In my opinion, he's one of the best passers in this draft class, and his 4 assists per game don't fully capture his vision or creativity. This kid was built for big moments. He has a rare ability to thread high-difficulty passes in clutch situations without turning the ball over. Just look at this play.
They put on the floor, it's just a physically imposing guard when you got smaller guys. Nice find, and Hayes the finish.
Or that one.
For Rutgers has to step up and turn the heat up just a little bit here.
Yeah, Bailey, nice dump down in traffic. That's well done. He got it.
Or this episode.
Tired. Their legs.
They are fatigued right now.
Cross court. Williams for 3. Big shot.
What stands out most about Harper is his ability to thrive under pressure. Take this chart. First column, percent of passes made under defensive pressure. Second column, turnover rate in those situations. Lower is better. The stats say both Con Knipple and Harper post elite numbers here, but Dylan's are more impressive because he was Rutgers' primary playmaker, tasked with creating in far tougher context than Con. Is Harper really the right fit for the Spurs? Wouldn't it be better to take a slightly less talented Tier 2 prospect who fits the team's current needs more neatly? San Antonio already has Fox and Castle in the guard spots, and Devin Vassell performs much better at shooting guard than at small forward, where his size becomes a disadvantage. Let's take a closer look at Tier 2. At first glance, each of these prospects seems to fit the Spurs' needs much better. Edgecombe, a 2-3 wing with elite defense and athleticism, perfect for an off-ball role, ideal for a Spurs team that already has 2 primary ball handlers in the starting lineup. Ace Bailey, a tall, slightly taller than Tatum, small forward who'd add size and three-point shooting to San Antonio's roster. Trey Johnson, a linguistic goldmine who seems destined to play for the Spurs, combining the first name of Trey Jones and the last name of Keldon Johnson, 2 San Antonio favorites. But the truth is much simpler. Don't overthink it. Harper is by far the most talented player available outside of Cooper Flagg. The best player available approach should always be the priority for a top 5 pick. Teams keep making the same mistake. Sacramento took Marvin Bagley over Luka in 2018 because they needed big men. Charlotte picked MKG over Beal and Lillard in 2012 because they believed in their guards. Philadelphia thought scoring guard Markelle Fultz would fit better with Simmons and Embiid than Jason Tatum. And let's not forget the Spurs passing on Halliburton 5 years ago because they already had a young point guard in DeJounte Murray. The lesson? BPA. Best player available. Always take BPA with a top pick. As for the idea that the Spurs don't need another guard, maybe they may not need a guard, but they desperately need elite talent. Harper is exactly like that. Positions have been blurred in the modern NBA. What matters now is what a player can actually do on the court, not the positional label attached to him. I agree that integrating Harper into the starting lineup and experimenting with a 3-guard system would be an unconventional challenge for new head coach Mitch Johnson. However, it also presents intriguing opportunities for the Spurs. Swap last season's injured Fox for a healthy version and replace Chris Paul with Harper. And suddenly you've got a trio of 6.4, 6.6, and 6.6 guards who won't be physically overmatched, but will overwhelm opposing backcourts with ball handling, creativity, and playmaking. Their versatility, talent, and interchangeability would be off the charts. Fox's speed, Harper's craftiness, and Castle two-way motor create a nightmare for matchups. Need scoring? All 3 can create. Need defense? All 3 can switch. Need playmaking? All 3 can pass. And I haven't even mentioned the fact that opponents also have to deal with Wemby. To sum it up, I love what Dylan Harper could bring to this team. A talent this big can't be a bad fit. He exists beyond those categories. The Brooklyn rumors. Is there even a single universe where the Spurs say yes? My answer? No. That's all for now, and have a great day. All right. Let's take a closer look at this rumor. All the buzz and potential offers from the Nets revolve around solid role players like Cam Johnson and Nick Claxton, plus the draft picks Brooklyn has this year. The idea is that the Spurs might want to bolster their roster depth, while the Nets would get their next Cade or Ant, a young star to build their team around. I like Claxton and especially Cam. I wouldn't mind seeing them on the Spurs, but isn't the price just a bit steep? It seems to me that Nets fans and possibly even their front office are overvaluing these solid but unspectacular role players. Let's not forget, Cameron Johnson was available all last season, and Brooklyn wanted 2 first-round picks for him but found no takers at that price. So why should the Spurs trade a potential young star on a rookie contract for a package built around a role player who's approaching 30? So I can't see that trade happening, but I have another proposal for the Nets. Swap our 14 and 38 picks for their 19 and 26. The Spurs might need to add a future second-round pick or a heavily protected swap. It's okay. Such trade could make sense for both teams. Brooklyn moves up several spots with their second most valuable pick, while the Spurs consolidate their selections, potentially getting 2 players who'd fit really well in San Antonio's system. But that's enough for today. We'll discuss in more detail who the Spurs should target with their 14 and 38 picks in one of our next videos, closer to draft night.